On Tuesday, February 5th, 2019, the Glendale City Council confirmed the appointment of Silvio Lanzas to Fire Chief of the Glendale Fire Department. Chief Lanzas has been serving the Glendale community since December 2017. Silvio Lanzas is the 11th Fire Chief of the Glendale Fire Department.
And thank you all for being here. I am humbled and honored to be appointed as the 11th Fire Chief in the over 112-year history of the Glendale Fire Department. I'm proud to continue my service to this great city, to its citizens, its visitors, and our outstanding employees. I have so many people to thank and so much to be grateful for. Please allow me to make those thoughts of appreciation. I would like to start by thanking our Mayor, Zara Sinanian, our City Council, and all its members, Councilmember Ara Najarian, Councilmember Paula Devine, Councilmember Vartan Garpetian, and Councilmember Vrej Agajanian. Thank you for believing in me and for entrusting me in this opportunity. I'd like to thank our great city manager, Ms. Yasmin Beers, our assistant city manager, Rubik Galanian, our entire city management team for believing in me and entrusting me with this incredible opportunity. I'd like to thank my partners on the executive team, who over the last couple of months have welcomed me into an amazing group of professionals, some of the hardest working on the planet, and who happen to be a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to be around. Many of them here today. Thank you. I'd like to thank each member of our fire department command staff, especially Deputy Fire Chief Bill Lynch, who is the epitome of a professional, a great partner, and a great friend. I would like to thank my wife, Kara, my two boys, Jacob and Isaiah, my mother and father-in-law, Debbie and Joe. Thank you for your unwavering support, your love, and your constant belief in me. Having a home network is critically important to being a fire chief. I very sincerely thank every person who has helped me along the way. I've had the great fortune throughout my career to have outstanding role models, one who you just heard from. Another one I'd like to point out is my previous battalion, division, and deputy chief, Chief Curley, who made the trip out from Texas this morning to be here. Thank you, Chief. Many, many people in my career have taken a chance on me, have believed in me, have otherwise supported me. To all my brothers and sisters from CAL FIRE, many who are here today, thank you. I would like to thank each member of the Glendale Fire Department, our administrative staff, our Verdugo dispatchers, fire prevention, training, EMS, and operations staff. I would like to thank Glendale Firefighters Association and their leadership, President Steve Keys, Vice President Jeff Brooks. Thank all of you for your dedication to our department, your commitment to the firefighting profession, your dedication to the people we serve, and for welcoming me into this amazing organization.
Tell us about your professional background, your experience prior to coming to Glendale.
Sure. I started at 14 years old as a fire explorer in the CAL FIRE Riverside County's fire system. I spent the next 22 years there serving as, I was hired 2 days before I graduated high school at 18 years old and served as a firefighter, an engineer, a fire captain, a battalion chief, and a division chief prior to coming here as a deputy chief and eventually the fire chief. I have a bachelor's degree in fire science, 2 associate's degrees. I'm a qualified Type 1 Op Section Chief, Operations Section Chief, and a qualified Air Tactical Group Supervisor. Those are very difficult qualifications that require a tremendous amount of experience and a large fire background.
Chief, share with us a little bit about the Glendale Fire Department.
Sure. The Glendale Fire Department has 271 employees. 166 of those are sworn firefighting employees, and 105 are our civilian staff. That includes our dispatchers, our fire prevention employees, and our admin staff. We operate at 9 fire stations strategically located throughout the city. We have 9 4-person paramedic fire engines and 3 4-person ladder trucks. The ladder trucks are the big ones that have the big ladder, that they have an employee steering in the front and an employee steering in the back. And then the engines, they also have ladders, but they carry the fire hose and water on them.
Chief, if we can talk about the functions and various sections within the Glendale Fire Department, please.
Sure. Our largest section is our operations section. That includes all the firefighting personnel that ride around on our engines, our trucks, and actually respond to emergencies daily throughout their day. We have 50 employees on duty throughout our 12 engine companies, and then we respond to roughly 53 calls a day. Those are 911 calls that we respond to. Then we have our EMS section, which includes our ambulances and our EMS staff that support about 83% of what we do, which is EMS-related medical calls, heart attacks, strokes, chest pain, all the myriad of calls that people call 911 for EMS-related issues. We also have our Verdugo dispatchers, which our Verdugo dispatchers are unique. They dispatch not only for the Glendale Fire Department, but also for 13 agencies outside of Glendale. So there's a tremendous amount of work and responsibility that they hold by having to know not only the geography, the phone number system, and the addressing system in Glendale, but also for those 13 other agencies outside of the city of Glendale. Then we have our admin staff, which obviously supports all the operations that we operate within the fire department. Those are our secretary staff and our professional administrative staff, our budget staff, and our public safety coordinator. We also have our fire prevention staff, which is responsible for our fire and life safety inspections, building permit inspections for new and improved constructions throughout the city, and then our training staff. We have staff that performs probationary training for our new employees, ongoing training for all of our seasoned employees, and conduct all the training within the department. We are very fortunate here in the Glendale Fire Department to have a tight-knit group of individuals that all support each other. We don't have a lot of extra employees, so everybody helps everybody when the time comes. When we have a training academy, we utilize people from the field to come help those training academies. When we have a big incident, say in another city, we have staff that comes up and helps our Verdugo dispatchers, our battalion chiefs, myself, our battalion chief that runs the dispatch center steps up and helps command that operation.
Saving lives must be very stressful.
It is. It's a great job.
And we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Armenians, being minority, are majority in the city of Glendale. So how many Armenians are employed by the Glendale Fire Department?
We're very fortunate. We have 20 employees in the fire department that are Armenian. We have 8 firefighter paramedics and other staff that are in the operations section that actually respond to calls and are part of our sworn staff. We have 5 ambulance operators. We have 3 fire prevention employees, 2 fire dispatchers. The dispatchers, much like the operations staff, are critical to the delivery of our service because they have the ability to be bilingual and can communicate with our 911 callers as well as our patients on scene. We also have one of our command staff members who's Armenian and an IT member who is Armenian who supports our fire department.
So approximately 20 employees. Chief, if we can take a moment and talk about natural disasters, earthquakes, and what is the advice that you would give to the homeowners of the city of Glendale?
Yeah, Arsha, it's a great question. As you know, it's no secret we live in California, an earthquake-prone state, and the San Andreas Fault is very close to us. As you know, we had the Northridge earthquake that caused a significant amount of damage here in the city of Glendale. Our advice to our residents and our viewers for earthquake preparedness and disaster preparedness in general is first and foremost is have a plan. Have a plan, communicate it with your family, have food, water, canned and dry food. The ability to sustain yourself for 7 days is what we recommend people to have. The plan includes a communications plan outside of cellular and landline service. How are you going to communicate? Where are you going to meet if you're separated? What is your meeting location? And you want to have that plan and practice it. You want to talk about it with your family. The preparedness from the food and the water is huge because initially during that disaster, we need to all support each other during that initial period until help and supplies can come into us. So from an earthquake standpoint, That's very important. Floodings, we had a significant rain season this past year, and flooding was a problem throughout our city and throughout California. We give out sandbags to all residents of Glendale, and we strongly advise people to set those sandbags ahead of a storm. Once the water's there, the sandbags do very little because you're trying to trap water, and it's almost impossible to do. So those preventative measures prior to the rain is very important.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And have a kit, have a flashlight, food, water, all the supplies necessary to sustain yourself, candles, those type of things. Plan on not having power, not having gas, not having the ability to cook and stay, perishable things to stay good for a period of time. That's what you should plan for and take the steps to be ready.
We talked about natural disasters. Maybe if you can elaborate more on we had a very rainy season this past winter, and I'm sure homeowners should know more than they already do to be safe and to keep their families safe.
Yeah, again, a great point. We did have a significant rain season this year. The rain oftentimes gives our community, our viewers, a false sense of security. They think it rained a lot, we're not going to have brush fires, we're not going to have the potential for devastating fires. That's actually quite the opposite. The rain produces a large amount of grass. The grass is usually what starts our fires because it's more receptive to a spark, whether it be from a car or from a cigarette or from any hot object can start the grass on fire once it's dried. As you can tell, we had rain no more than a few weeks ago, and the grass is already turning brown. It takes very little heat, very little wind to dry that grass out. And we encourage our homeowners now, when the grass is turning color and before it gets too hot, to start their preventative measures. We ask that every resident clear their home initially down to bare mineral soil, 30 feet from their property, from their home and any decks, and then an additional 70 feet down to no more than 4 inches of grass. For more information on how to keep your home safe, the viewers can visit our website at glendalefire.com as well as readyforwildfire.org for steps and kits on how to prepare their home.
Chief, earlier you talked about getting at least 53 calls per day. Overall, how many calls does the Glendale Fire Department respond to annually?
So in 2018, we responded to 19,408 calls. That's just shy of 20,000 calls for 9 fire stations. It's a busy fire department. I joke that I can't ever be out in the streets in Glendale, whether I'm going to a meeting, coming from a meeting, and not see a fire truck, a fire engine, an ambulance. We're constantly on the road, responding to emergencies or returning from an emergency. So we're a busy fire department.
Yeah, I've observed that myself, not being part of the fire department, just being a resident. But again, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank every single firefighter.
Thank you very much.
Կասաբոնիտա տարեցների առողջապահական նորաբաց կենտրոն։ Այստեղ ստեղծված են բոլոր հարմարավետ պայմանները ապահովելու ձեր բարեկեցությունը։ Կասաբոնիտայում հոգում են ձեր առողջապահական խնդիրները բարձրորակ մասնագետների միջոցով։ Լուծում են ձեր սոցիալական եւ կենցաղային հարցերը, օգնում են բարելավել ձեր մկանային ուժը հատուկ մանրամասնությունների միջոցով։ Ժամանցային հետաքրքիր ծրագրեր, հատուկ սնունդ, փոխադրամիջոց։ Կասաբոնիտայում բացօթյա գեղեցիկ պարտեզից եւ ջերմ ընդունելությամբ սկսվում է ձեր յուրաքանչյուր օրը։
Մեր աշխարհը նույնը չէ, մեր հայրենիքը նույնը չէ, եւ վերջապես մենք ինքներս նույնը չենք։ Բայց օտար փաստաբաններ դեռ ինչ-որ բան են վաճառում ձեզ։ Մենք, ի տարբերություն նրանց, հասկանում ենք հայ մարդու այսօրվա խնդիրները եւ պատրաստ ենք միանալու ձեզ այսօր հաղթարելու օրենքի հետ կապված ձեր բոլոր խնդիրները։ Մենք, հայերով, միասին, միասնաբար։
Glendale High Funeral Services ժամանակը ամրացնում է վստահությունը։
Glendale High Funeral Services հաստատությունը 25 տարի շարունակ ծառայում է հայ համայնքին։ Մեր աշխատակիցները պրոֆեսիոնալ եւ հոգատար են բոլորի հետ։ Ընտրեցեք բարձր որակի ծառայություն եւ հարազատ վերաբերմունք։
Glendale High Funeral Services մեր համայնքը մեր ընտանիքն է։
Զանգահարեք 818 247 8860
Կենսաէներգետիկ երևույթները մարդկությանը հայտնի են անհիշելի ժամանակներից։ Կենսաէներգիան ապաքինում է ցավերն ու տկարությունները, այլընտրանքային բուժման տեսակ առանց դեղամիջոցների։ Կենսաէներգիայով մերսում, ապահով եւ առանց բարդությունների։ Այցելեք Dr. Roland Յակոբովին Glendale-ի իր կենտրոնում եւ զգացեք կենսաէներգիայի արդյունավետ ազդեցությունը։ Ժամադրության համար զանգահարեք 310 359 6434 հեռախոսահամարով։ Հավելյալ տեղեկություններ կարող եք ստանալ այցելելով rolandinstitute.com կայքեջ։
Ողջույն։ Ես Հրշեջ Գրեգ Բլիկյանս ցանկանում եմ, որ միանաք մեզ շաբաթ օրը մայիսի 11-ին, որպեսզի նշենք Հրշեջ ծառայության օրը 21-րդ հրշեջական կենտրոնում։ Կլինեն զվարճալի ընտանեկան միջոցառումներ, ինչպեսին են Հրշեջ ծառայության շրջագայություններ, այցելություն Սպարկի շան կողմից եւ իրական մեքենաների ազատման տեսարաններ։ Առավոտյան ժամը 9-ից 12-ը լինելու է անվճար նախաճաշ։ Հավելյալ տեղեկությունների համար զանգահարեք 818-548-4814 կամ այցելեք glendalefire.org։ Հույսով ենք տեսնել ձեզ այնտեղ։
International Families Association is a non-profit organization. Կազմակերպություն, որ տարիներ շարունակ ծառայում է ի նպաստ ցածր եկամուտ ունեցող ընտանիքների։ Յուրաքանչյուր երկուշաբթի եւ չորեքշաբթի օրերին կեսօրից հետո ժամը 2-ից 5-ը տրամադրվում է անվճար ուտելիք եւ այլ ապրանքներ։ Ընդունվում է ամեն տեսակի հովանավորություն։ Մանրամասների համար զանգահարել 818 770 0779 հեռախոսահամարով։
I had the pleasure of meeting Silvio Lanzas, our fire chief for the city of Glendale, a little over a year ago. And I will tell you that when he first started here at the city of Glendale, I knew whether it was going to be in Glendale or elsewhere, he was going to be a fire chief. It is fantastic to have an individual here with the city to provide oversight for our fire department within the community. You know, the fire department and the chief position is one for a city manager that is very difficult to fulfill. Even though within the 15 departments, all department directors are very important, there are 3 positions within the executive ranks that are difficult to fill, and you have to make sure you have the right person in place. So within the fire department, I had the opportunity and pleasure of meeting, as I said, Silvio Lanzas over a year ago, and through the process of having him serve as an interim fire chief for a few months, it became very clear that he was going to be our next fire chief. And he was appointed, as you know, last February, and it's great to have a perspective that is from within somewhat, but also he brings a breadth of knowledge and professionalism and expertise from outside of the city of Glendale that I believe will be fantastic for this community. Silvio Lanzas, I think, will be with us for years to come. He is an approachable leader, but as you know, as a fire chief, you have to have that leadership quality of when you step in, folks need to listen to what you have to say. So he has that, but yet he's approachable. He is a very compassionate individual, yet he's very decisive. Those qualities really stood out for me in the interview process and while he was the interim fire chief when he was going through the process for us to see whether he would be our next fire chief. Connectivity within the city of Glendale, not only within the organization but outside of the organization, is something that is very important to me. Chief Lanzas brings a wealth of knowledge and his ability to be able to connect people, not only within the organization but with the community. In his short time here with the city of Glendale, he has established those relationships, and I think those relationships, outside of all of the experiences that he has, will carry him throughout his career. I'm proud to call him our fire chief here in the city of Glendale, and I'm proud to work side by side Chief Lanzas.
I know that there are a lot of programs that the Glendale Fire Department offers to Glendale residents and, of course, businesses. If you can please elaborate on that.
Yeah, we have a program called the Glendale Medic Program and the Glendale Business Medic Program that affords our homeowners to sign up for $5 a month, $60 a year, The fee is taken straight out of your, added to your Glendale water and power bill, and it affords the home and everybody in that home the services of our fire department, paramedic delivery service at your scene, as well as transport service to the hospital at no additional cost above what your insurance premium covers. So for a very small fee, for what a cup of coffee costs nowadays a month, you can protect your family and not burden the additional costs of an ambulance transport ride or paramedic services should you ever need them.
Chief, where can the viewers go to find out more on Glendale Fire Department and stay updated?
Yeah, so our website is www.glendalefire.com. That's where you could find information about the Glendale Medic Program, the Glendale Business Medic Program, and find links for steps to prepare your home for a wildfire as well as disaster preparedness. There's also information about our CERT program, our Community Emergency Response Team, that we offer through the fire department as well, found on that site. We're also active on our social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and can be found at Glendale Fire CA.
Chief, we have highly intellectual younger generation growing up, which is of course great, and most of them want to make a difference in the life of the community, and some of them want to become firefighters. Where do they go to have more information?
We have a recruitment website at www.joingfd.com that has a lot of information on joining the Glendale Fire Department. Steps to join, what's required, all of that information is found on the website. What I encourage our young people to do, and the most difficult thing that we are finding in our young generation, is having a clean background. We do a background check, a full polygraph, and a psychological exam for all of our prospective candidates. And we're looking for the best and brightest. The Glendale Fire Department is filled with hardworking, dedicated young men and women who are committed to doing this job. And we're proud of our high standards. So my advice to young people is stay away from the things that cause you trouble and stay away from the things that could possibly impact your background down the road. We also, nowadays, the paramedic delivery is the highest level of service we can deliver on in the fire department. So we're looking for paramedic firefighters. So we encourage people to get a fire academy. The Verdugo Fire Academy is a good option locally that many of our employees have attended, as well as paramedic programs throughout the LA area that are offered. Those are two of the critical steps to becoming qualified in the firefighting realm.
Once again, Chief, I would like to thank you on behalf of all the residents of the city of Glendale and welcome you, and I know you take pride in your work.
Thank you so much, Arsha. It's my pleasure to be on your show, and I'm very, very proud to be here serving this great city. The population in this city, the people in this city have been so nice to me since I arrived, and I'm very, very fortunate to lead such a great group of men and women in the Glendale Fire Department.
Thank you, and we're fortunate to have you.
Thank you.
Մեր աշխարհը նույնը չէ, մեր հայրենիքը նույնը չէ, եւ վերջապես մենք ինքներս նույնը չենք։ Բայց օտար փաստաբաններ դեռ ինչ-որ բան են վաճառում ձեզ։ Մենք, ի տարբերություն նրանց, հասկանում ենք հայ մարդու այսօրվա խնդիրները եւ պատրաստ ենք միանալու ձեզ այսօր հաղթարելու օրենքի հետ կապված ձեր բոլոր խնդիրները։ Մենք, հայերով, միասին, միասնաբար։
Glendale High Funeral Services. Ժամանակը ամրացնում է վստահությունը։
Glendale High Funeral Services հաստատությունը 25 տարի շարունակ ծառայում է հայ համայնքին։ Մեր աշխատակիցները պրոֆեսիոնալ եւ հոգատար են բոլորի հետ։ Ընտրեցեք բարձր որակի ծառայություն եւ հարազատ վերաբերմունք։
Glendale High Funeral Services. Մեր համայնքը մեր ընտանիքն է։
Զանգահարեք 818 247 8860։
Կասաբոնիտա տարեցների առողջապահական նորաբաց կենտրոն։ Այստեղ ստեղծված են բոլոր հարմարավետ պայմանները ապահովելու ձեր բարեկեցությունը։ Կասաբոնիտայում հոգում են ձեր առողջապահական խնդիրները բարձրորակ մասնագետների միջոցով, լուծում են ձեր սոցիալական եւ կենցաղային հարցերը, օգնում են բարելավել ձեր մկանային ուժը հատուկ մարմնամարզությունների միջոցով, ժամանցային հետաքրքիր ծրագրեր, հատուկ սնունդ, փոխադրամիջոց։ Կասաբոնիտայում բացօթյա գեղեցիկ պարտեզից եւ ջերմ ընդունելությամբ սկսվում է ձեր յուրաքանչյուր օրը։
Համեցեք այս նորաբաց եւ բարձրորակ տարեցների առողջապահական կենտրոնը։ Եկեք եւ համոզվեք։
Glendale-ի կենտրոնում, Հարվարդ եւ Մերիլենդ փողոցների անկյունում գտնվող նորաբաց My Salon գեղեցկության սրահը արդեն իսկ դարձել է ամենաոճային կանանց եւ տղամարդկանց սիրելի վայրը, որն առաջարկում է ամենօրյա, երեկոյան, տոնական եւ հարսանեկան վարսահարդարման ու դիմահարդարման յուրահատուկ ծառայություններ։ Ընդարձակ ու նրբաճաշակ սրահում գործում են անվանի եւ միջազգային ճանաչում ունեցող մասնագետներ։ My Salon, խնամված եւ գրավիչ արտաքինի ձեր գրավականը։
For advertising on Inside TV, please call 818-653-0199.